G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the north side of the map in the colour orange. Playing as the English, it's Beastie Cutie. And in the west side of the map, in the colour blue, playing as the Rus, it's Puppy Paw. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Frisian Marshes. We're here watching a game. Not from the ranked ladder, no my friends, not from our back octagon. We've finished that one all up. We're here watching the Conqueror Cup. In fact, this is the very last game in this series of the Conqueror Cup. Now, if you haven't heard of the Conqueror Cup, well, let me tell you a little bit about it, just to bring you up to speed. Conqueror Cup is I was going to say a civilization, not a civilization, a tournament hosted by Blade 555555555555555. It's Blade. It's the guy that played in Outback Octagon. It's Blade's tournament. So I'm going to leave a link down in the description to where you can actually go and watch the grand final. So don't watch the grand final right now. Watch this game first, because I'm sure we got some good stuff to talk about in this game. But once we've finished it, if you've enjoyed it, make sure you go check out Blade. As I said, I'll leave a link in the description of where you can go and watch the grand final, the very first game. It's a long series, a slog fest, I'm sure. But I'll leave the link down in the description. We'll get back to the action because it's time to talk about Frisian Marshes, talk about the Rus, talk about a civilization that is starting to take over the meta, at least at the top level. I don't know if you guys are seeing this in your games, down on the other levels of the ladder, you know, down in your diamonds, in your platinums, in your golds. Is the Rus starting to get really strong, or is it just me? This civilization seems crazy good. Now, that's largely because it's got really good maps, right? When we think about the current map pool, think about the maps that Rus has got going for it, right? Now, fortunately, they don't have Hideout anymore. That's in... I will have you know, that is in the team ranked pool, and I tell you what, that is absolute insanity trying to deal with them over there. But you got lots of other great Rus maps that are in the map pool at the moment, so they're just having an absolute field day. I think that's part of the reason why we see them sort of climbing up the ladder. It definitely feels like they're probably one of the strongest civs at the moment. Probably them, Malians. I feel like English have definitely fallen off a little bit recently. And I tell you what, it is absolutely awesome getting back to making just some 1v1 content. I don't know about you guys. I enjoy the 1v1 stuff, and it feels good now being back in the hot seat because I haven't casted for a while. I actually did make a video, for anybody wondering. There's actually some pretty big news that's just hit Age of Empires 4. And I know I've already shouted out one video for you to go have a look at, Blade's video, when we're finished. But, you know, if you want to go check out this video as well that I'm going to talk about as well, go for it. So on my second channel, I posted a video just regarding some massive news from Relic Entertainment, and I'll tell you now, it's not good news. But I'll let you go check that one out when you got time. A lot of things to check up on for you guys. But let's talk a little bit about this opening. So Puppy Paw going to be opening us up with the hunting cabin. We can see that there. We see the Kremlin going to be going down as well, right next to the stone outcropping. Now keep in mind this map, Frisian Marshes, this is a custom map. It's not available to you, to me, to anybody else on the rank ladder. Not even available on the quick match ladder yet, but that will change. That will change. Well, not for this map. Frisian Marshes, you still won't be able to get it, but you will be able to get Golden Heights. That's coming next season. Now, Golden Heights was a custom map that was made. At least I'm pretty sure Golden Heights was a custom map that was made. Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it wasn't a custom map made. I remember it was played on EGC TV, but it might have just been like, you know how sometimes they release new maps? Like maybe they just released Golden Heights. I gotta, you know what? I gotta go double check my facts right now. Hold your horses, ladies and gentlemen. I'll let you know about that. But anyway, if I remember correctly, it's a custom map, Golden Heights, and that's gonna be coming to the ranked ladder pool for season 5. So I'm incredibly excited about that because it means that the devs will be taking that step of finally adding a custom map. If it is a custom map. Anyway, let's tune in with Beastie. Let's see how he's doing on the north side of the map as he begins to scout out. Obviously opening up double scout in this game. Drops down the council hall. It's a pretty early age up. What kind of build order are we going to see out from him? It looks like it might be the standard Beastie build order. This is something that he's done guides for before, where he looks to put on pressure early on in the game. We can see already some longbowmen going to be coming out, going to be looking to put on pressure. He hasn't got the rally point set just yet. Oh, never mind. I take it back. Yes, he does. I must have been clicking on something else. Maybe I was clicking on a berry bush. Why hasn't he rallied this berry bush yet? Oh, classic Beastie not rallying the berry bush. Anyway, so just a couple of bows coming out so far. Now, interestingly, he hasn't begun making a move for that stone just yet. Now, we did see Puppy Paw taking his stone already. There were a lot of villagers out there, so we know he's going to be looking for that second town center. The question's going to be whether Beastie's going to be able to deny that from him. So we come in, have a look and see, and this is where it's kind of gets a little bit questionable. Like, obviously, the Kremlin is close to the town center. It needs to be close so that you can protect it, just in case, like, men-at-arms come, or, I don't know, superhuman speed longbowmen or something like that, but there is a very real risk that... Oh, look at this. Is he baiting him away with the scouts? Oh, he's trying to get the villagers. Oh, he's intentionally bringing it back. Oh, this is so cheeky from Puppy Paw, and that's going to buy him the space that he needs to get that extra stone. And you can see the militia coming out now as well, looking to focus down that villager. Just when you thought it was all over Red Rover for Puppy Paw, because the longbowmen were coming out. There's 4 of them now. Villagers are looking to try and survive at the moment. That's the longbow's going to continue to focus them down. Scout comes back, and we see the mining camp and also see the Kremlin back there. And so now all of a sudden, Beastie's just going to say, well, I guess I'll just tower your gold. I guess that's a cool trick, right? I feel like he's kind of Anakin Skywalker in the first Star Wars movie. I should say episode 1. It's not the first Star Wars movie. You know, building a tower on the gold. That's a cool trick. And then he does it. And it's absolutely cool. There's always the opportunity for this one in the north. So how does Puppy Paw push out from this position? Because he's throwing down the stable. Stable, obviously, the correct response to archery ranges. What's Beastie doing back home? He's going to be going for a second TC himself. Definitely the right call. Love to see it. I'd love to know how many TCs he's thinking about. For me, I'm always big. Whenever I see my enemy go 2 TCs, I'm like, oh, 2 TCs, that's cute. I'll go 7 TCs. Not really. I don't make 7 TCs. I mean, there have probably been games where I have made 7 TCs, but I wouldn't advise it. It's more of an advanced strategy. All right, Scout survives on 1 health. There you go. So Puppy Paw's locked in the corner right now. No other portion of the map is his to claim, at least for the moment. Now, obviously, he's dropped down the stable. Excuse me, where is your villager production here, sir? He's not creating... Okay, there we go. I was wondering for a second. I'm like, where are your villas producing? Your town center's sitting here. I feel like I'm watching one of my students, Puppy Paw. Come on, mate. Get it together. Jeez, I'm going to have to mark you down for that, mate. That's a B+ for villager creation, that's for sure. Oh, idle TC. Anyway, archery range is coming down, so he's going to be looking to anticipate any potential spears that are going to be coming out from Beastie. Beastie obviously spotted out. I'm pretty sure he spotted out that stable. There's no way for us to know whether he spotted out that stable, just simply because, well, the technology's not yet there in 2023 to know what the line of sight on an enemy player is currently showing. But back towards the base, it's definitely the right call as the barracks is going to be coming down for Beastie. Looks like he's going to be going with a spearman, which is pretty standard. Normally, keep in mind, whenever you are playing the English and you're looking to try and put on some early pressure, the most common thing that you'll see is a longbow mass beginning to build, maybe a trickle of spears, 1 or 2, just to keep him company. And then eventually, after the longbow numbers start reaching, and this is if you're going to play Feudal Age, once the longbow numbers start reaching, say, 20, 25-ish, that's when the men-at-arms start coming. Because now those longbows are a massive threat, and men-at-arms are just going to distract you from killing them. But for the moment, it's just going to be the spears looking to help defend. Second outpost is up. Arrow slit's going to be through. Archer just going to be moving out, baiting away. Just checking. Just having a look. Oh, yep, you got these arrow slits. Fair enough. Third horseman now out. Not yet able to move on to gold. He's completely locked out of gold for the moment. And this is the consequence of this map. Frisian Marshes. It's one of those custom maps. I don't think there's... Is there any map in Age of Empires 4 currently where you spawn in this orientation? Oh, is he doing it? Is he doing it? He's doing the thing. He's got 3 vills on stone. Yeah, there's kind of a rare orientation to spawn where you've got this northwesterly... I say northwesterly like it's a breeze coming in off the ocean. That is not the case. You've got this north/west... North and west spawns. West and north spawns. These separate west and northern spawns. There you go. That explains it a little bit better. And look at this. Now we've got the response. Does Puppy Paw know? Oh, yeah, Puppy Paw knows. Puppy Paw looks back over here. Did he spot the stone? He spotted the stone, but see, this is the thing, right? Like, we don't know what he saw the stone at, because I was too busy talking about, I don't know, the differences between margarine and butter. I can't remember what I was talking about. That's like 9 minutes ago. Speaking of 9 minutes, let's switch those bad boys over. We've got Beastie now gathering up a fair amount of stone, but he's just kind of rocking it for the moment. Is he just going to be looking to fortify outposts? That's what he's going to be doing. So he's going to be using it to fortify the outposts. Not going to be going for that 3rd TC. But my suspicion is Puppy Paw is not going to be fortifying any outposts with this stone. And that's mainly because, well, you can't actually fortify Rus outposts. They're already fortified out the wazoo. They got so much damn health. So much damn health, they're getting nerfed. Look at this battering ram going to be coming out as well for Puppy. Not a lot of counter to Siege here, and now Beastie going to be looking to put on the pressure. But my fear here is that how does Beastie possibly go about? Obviously, like, the battering ram counters this, so now he has to make units to kill this, or he has to bring villagers forward, one of the two. But behind this, he's not going for the second or the third town center, right? So he's not going to be able to match it, and he spots out that stone, and he knows. He sees that stone, and he says, oof, that is a lot of stone taken off there. You're on 3 TCs now, so I think Beastie could look to go Castle Age here, but even then, what happens if Puppy Paw just puts the pedal to the metal and stays Feudal Age? This is a pretty menacing amount of units here. Now, Beastie is starting to build up towards that north side. We can see those numbers starting to climb. When it comes to army value, still heavily in favor of Puppy Paw at the moment because he's got all those cavalry units. That third town center now going to get spotted out. Keep in mind, he does actually have vision of this second town center. There we go. The battering ram going to be roaming over to the next spot. So, once again, Puppy Paw just going to be looking to secure up some food here. Frisian Marshes is known for its marshes of Frisian nature. Actually, I'm pretty sure, is Frisian Marshes Dutch? I want to say Dutch. I remember Adney, who was the map maker for Frisian Marshes. And I'm pretty sure he took a lot of inspiration from the Netherlands, or from Holland. I'm very tempted to say a country that it's not, you know, Holland, Netherlands, Dutch, just to increase the just to increase the engagement. Holland. Oh gosh. Anyway, Denmark. So anyway, at this point, Puppy Paw losing a lot of units here. You thought his mass was decent. It turns out it wasn't decent enough. Still a couple of spears in here, which is going to be way too much trouble for these horsemen to even bother dealing with. So he's not gonna go for it. But it looks like the outpost may go down. Battering ram not going to be taken out in time, and we can see right there. So I think definitely. Oh, the outpost is burning. Oh, a little bit of a mistake from Puppy Paw. If there's a villager on the way, which I don't think there is, but yeah, it looks like it will go down here. There's no villagers in here. Beastie not even bringing... Oh, there's the villager right now coming out. But it's going to be too little, too late. So, overall, I think it's still a loss for Puppy Paw, right? Like, take a look at the resources that were destroyed right there. You can see that Beastie's destroyed 2k resources compared to the 600 of Puppy Paw. Doesn't seem like a particularly good trade for Puppy Paw. Even though he does clear up the gold veins, he's now got to deal with the problem, the English problem, the longbows. Let's take a look back at the base of Beastie, though. Looks like he's just chilling out for the moment. Still no third town center down for him, so very happy on the 2 TCs, which is probably the right call, right? Like, he's still technically scaling. He can go into King's Palace. A lot of these top-level guys love to go into the King's Palace still, even though, for anybody who doesn't know, I don't like King's Palace. To me, it's more like the Prince's Palace, and it's like, you know, that prince that we don't like, the one that got excommunicated because of his association with a certain... international... look, I'm not going to get into it, but let's just put it this way. The King's Palace should be renamed to like... I'm not going to say his name. You know, I'm not... It's so tempting, but I'm not going to say it. I'll leave it. Anyway, we move on. We move forward, and slowly Puppy Paw's army has managed to... How is Puppy Paw doing this? You know how Puppy Paw's doing this? He's Rus, baby. He's Rus. He's got that extra 20% coming through. That extra 20% wood. And that's all the difference here, right? Surely that's it. I mean, he's on 3 TC. And... Oh, it's the militia. So he's going to lead with the militia here. We'll be able to push back the longbows for the moment. Buy himself a little bit more time. Outpost's going to be coming down on the gold. Not if Puppy Paw can help it, though. Beast's going to have to wait a little bit longer. Longbow's doing a really decent job of just picking off the enemy archers. Exactly what they want to be doing. I'm always... remembering back to Don Ardy's explanation. Look at the horseman numbers. Oh my lord. Okay, a little bit too many horsemen here. Definitely not enough spearmen for Beastie, and now we're going to start to see that destroyed value start to take a deep dive here for Beastie, as it is going to quickly start rising, and you can see all of a sudden 1,400, 1,500. Count it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Just like the count does. 1,600. Oh my lord, that's going up real quick. And it looks like all of these longbows are probably going to be going down. There's a couple more spears that should be able to force these back for the moment, so he will retain mass, but he needs to be careful not to throw away those spears. So now Longbow's going to be looking to focus on those militia. They go down so quickly, don't they? But I feel like Puppy Paw has bought himself some time. And keep in mind, he's on 3 TCs, right? And that's where all the difference comes in. You're on 3 TCs against 2 TCs. And you might be thinking, as an English player, it's fine. I'm on 2 TCs. He's on 3. That's okay. I'll get my King's Palace. But you've got to remember, you're still feudal. And you're fighting feudal. And we're 14 minutes in. And you've got 0 gold a minute. You're not collecting a single... little bit of gold out here. You don't have a single villager on gold. You got not a single drop of gold to your name. And we're definitely not going to watch as those villagers drop off. And let's switch it from gold per minute. Oh, he's got 5 villagers on gold. There you go. All right, so Beastie's realized now is maybe the time for an upgrade or two. He could look for melee armor. To be honest, at this point, I'd probably look for horticulture. And then probably go up to Castle Age. 5 vills on gold is definitely a slower amount. He could be looking to rush this one up. But not going to be the case for the moment. And we see that wooden fortress. We're right on board with Puppy Paw as he continues to expand out away from the enemy. Keep in mind, that's what you want to be doing on this map. You want to be expanding out and down, or I guess you could say down the map rather than across the map into the center. And you can expand to the center. We see Beastie expanding to the center, but you know, most players they will typically go along the edge of the map because you want to try and stay away as far as you can from your enemy. Nice little raid attempt coming through from Puppy Paw, looking to pick up reinforcements. We'll be able to find at least one longbow. Cops a fair bit of damage right there. Additional outposts now coming up. Looks like Battering Ram's going to be looking to put on the pressure. Keep in mind, there's a 20 villager advantage for Puppy Paw. The consequence of that slightly earlier second TC, followed up with the third TC, is starting to build right now. A lot of resources in the bank for these guys. Let's see exactly what they're going to be able to do with it, though, as the numbers are starting to look pretty good for Puppy Paw. He's got those archer numbers. This is something that I always get scared about when I'm playing Feudal English. If your enemy has more archers than you just get outnumbered, you get outgunned, and remember, they've got outspeeded. I don't know if that's a word. That's a technical term. I'll have you guys know it is a technical term. Outsped is probably your better option. You'll get outsped, and that's the real kicker. Because when it comes to fighting with archers, you've got 1.25 movement speed compared to the 1.12 movement speed of the longbowmen. And that means that you're going to be able to just get on top of them. So in this situation, you can see where Beastie sits on 22 longbows. On the other side, you've got 44 archers now for Puppy Paw, and it's all that Rus bonus. This civilization is genuinely insane at the moment. It is popping off like crazy. I haven't seen the win rates, but I'm going to tell you guys now, I reckon they're probably pretty high. This civilization outpost gets up. Battering ram comes through. Should be able to buy a little bit of space with it. Archer's going to maintain on this backline, and Beastie realizes, you know what, I can't fight that. What do I even do here? What do you do here as Beastie? You're fighting in feudal against someone. You're down a TC. You're going to be down a lot of units here as well. We can see that military count going to continue to dwindle. I think he's going to do the right thing here. Just continue kiting back. His attack moving for the moment, not picking off those individual archers, which is definitely the right call when you've got this mass. But now that it starts to dwindle, you want to be focusing down those single archers. We can see that he's struggling a little bit as he continues to fall back away from this position. Gets a nice volley off there, taking out 2 archers. And he is doing work. Honestly, he's managing to trickle away at these pretty well. Puppy Paw has been dwindled down. And we can see right now that this archer mass on the front, 14 compared to the 26, but he's got reinforcements coming through. And the men-at-arms, finally the men-at-arms are here. This is where the difference is going to be coming through. The men-at-arms make this so much more difficult to deal with. Now the horsemen are going to have to come back through for Puppy Paw if he wants to deal with this. It's a beautiful swaying between these two players. Watching, and you can see as soon as those men-at-arms come through, Puppy Paw realizes, you know what, we can't do this. I mean, technically you can stay, you can fight, but you really don't want to do it against the men-at-arms. They do quite a bit of damage, and they are just so damn tanky. So probably need to improve those lance numbers, and look at the number of units that are coming out for Puppy Paw. He is 100% committed to playing this in the feudal age, and that is dangerous. That is incredibly dangerous. Just take a look at Beastie's resources right now. We talked a little bit earlier about stacking up resources. Well, how you doing right over there? That is going to be a castle age coming through. Market going to get thrown down. He doesn't have time to drop down. He needs to go now. He needs to go White Tower if he wants to survive this, though. I think that's the reality, but if he goes into White Tower, then how does he possibly scale? And that you can see right now, and he's going to throw King's Palace down. It's a beautiful spot for the White Tower as well. I mean, King's Palace is still going to be pretty solid defensively, but you're down 34 villagers at the moment. He's lost 4 vills this game. Actually, yeah, it's Puppy Paw that's killed 4 vills. So he's lost 4 vills this game, but down 30 vills. 34 vills is a huge amount to try and recover from. Now, obviously, he's going to be running at parity with Puppy Paw. So realistically, Beastie's got 1 out this game, and it sucks. It's a really terrible out. Basically, Beastie needs to wait until Puppy Paw hits 200 population, and he needs to try and stall him. Beastie then needs to prevent Puppy Paw from pushing in at 200 and get to 200 himself. The problem is when that happens, Puppy Paw is going to go Imperial. And so when Puppy Paw goes Imperial, Beastie needs to follow him up. He needs to go Imperial, but at the same time, he's trying to get to that 200 population. And you can see right now, Puppy Paw's on 195 population compared to Beastie on 124. And this is the problem, right? Like, you've got no walls, so you can't really stall. You've just hit castle, so your veterancy are on the way through. If you can get to veterancy, your damage is going to be really good, but this is a huge mass here. Beastie may have gone in a little bit too early, or maybe just a little bit too late. He's going to try and pick off these archers on the backside, but he's going to have so much trouble with it. You can see the knights now going to be coming underneath this king's palace and really struggling here. Beastie is to deal with this. The men-at-arms going to be almost non-existent when these knights start hitting them. You can see how quickly they evaporate them, and Beastie really struggling to keep their head above water at this point. We crossed the 20-minute threshold, and I'm starting to wonder, Beastie might have to think about moving on to the next game. Well, that is if there is a next game, because I tell you what, this, as I mentioned, this is part of the Conquerors Cup series. I'll be leaving a link in the description to where you can watch it, and Beastie's going to be trying his best to hold on in this game. Look at the madman go. Continuing to kite back, starting to lose villages. He's lost 11 villages so far, but remember, he's got that third TC. But we see more and more villages just getting taken out by the knights. Hardened Spearman going to be in the back of the base. Villagers managed to take out a knight. Beastie holding on for dear life. Archers managed to come through, but look at the villager difference now all of a sudden. 131 versus 83. How is there a 50 villager difference all of a sudden? It's because 14 villagers somehow got eviscerated. Now the high trade house is going to be coming down. Where is the high trade house going to be coming down? It's coming down in the middle of the map. What a beautiful spot right here. This landmark is by far the best Rus landmark at the moment in the game. This is just incredible. The amount of value this can give you is insane. I played a game the other day with a Rus player. Well, it was against a Rus player. It wasn't with a Rus player. He had a high trade house with 420 gold. Think about that. The moment that you age up, that's 420 gold, which, by the way, is the equivalent of 5 relics. And not just 5 relics, but more than 5 relics. Instantly. Into your passive bank for the rest of the game. You had to do nothing for it other than age up. And here we see Puppy Paw hitting a 166, which isn't too bad. 166, not too bad. That's 2 relics. He's just been given 2 relics out of nothing. And Beastie now holds on. So I feel like Beastie's got one way that he can possibly hold in this position. Mass Spearman with Mangonels. The problem is Mass Spearman with Mangonels will die to Springles. So then this is where it's like it really becomes a game of chess, or yeah, I guess chess is probably the best analogy. Because Beastie's got to... That's really like the one out, is stalling out the game until 200. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you're playing against one of the best players in the world in Puppy Paw. I think currently on the ladder, sitting at about rank 5. Definitely in my top 5. You guys know there's a lot of players in my top 5, but I can guarantee you Puppy Paw is one of those who's actually in the top 5. And he's not going to let Beastie mess him up when he's got this much of a lead. That is for sure. That is way too many villas. And you can see Beastie is closing the gap, right? The gap has been closed. Puppy Paw is not training villagers anymore. Maybe that hotkey stopped working. Knight's now going to look to try and chase away the remnants of this army. It's going to start to struggle. More units going to be coming up to reinforce. Beastie still not closing out of this one. Hardened Spearman still in. Yet to get that veterancy upgrade. And we actually see him moving into men-at-arms. He's going into the armor cladding, which he thinks might be able to be enough to push him back. So let's see exactly how it plays. Keep in mind that extra damage coming through on the longbow is so good right now. He's getting really good value. A lot of people forget just how good those damage breaks are on the longbow against knights, against any armored unit. They do 10 damage in the castle age, and compare that to a knight that's got 5 armor at the moment to a max of 6. You're still doing 4 damage on them, which is incredible. But we do see that outpost is now coming down. Beastie going to be looking to try and keep himself a little bit alive a little bit longer. I would have loved a wall to come up. Just a single wall. Oh, the Mangonel. Oh, the Mangonel. Oh, the Mangonel! Off the top rope, it hits all of Beastie's army. Beastie now undoubtedly has his head in his hands. He knows he can't deal with the Mangonel, and good game gets called, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be it. You can see me. It's just pumped me back out. It says, there you go, Drongo. That's the game right there. The Mangonel finished it off for you. Fellas, make sure you go and check out Blade 5555555555555. I will leave a link in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.